Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 9th. So students, in the previous video we have completed reading with our chapter number 4 from the book Moments. The name of the chapter is In the Kingdom of Fools. So it's very interesting, very funny story, and I very much sure that the story, the chapter is clear to you all. And in today's video we will solve the questions, we will see the comprehension part. So let's begin with our question first. So the question first is, what are the two strange things the Guru and his disciple find in the kingdom of fools? So in this question we have to tell that when the Guru and his disciple, when they went to the kingdom of fools, so what are the things, what are the two things that they found there that were very strange? Okay, so let's see the answer. The two strange things that the Guru and his disciple find in the kingdom of fools are, so what are the two things that the Guru and his disciple they found in that kingdom of fools, and those things were very much strange. So let's see the first one. People used to work during nights and sleep during days. So this was very strange because they found that all the people of that kingdom, they used to work during nights and they used to sleep during days. And why? Because according to the order given by the king, the nights were regarded as day and days were regarded as a night time. Second thing was that cost of everything in the market was the same, one dudu, whether it was a measure of rice or a bunch of banana. So this was the second thing that was very weird, that was very strange. And this thing was that in the market cost of everything was the same. And what was it? It was one dudu. So whether you are buying a measure of rice or you are buying a bunch of banana, you have to pay just one dudu. So again it was very strange rule. Next question, why does the disciple decide to stay in the kingdom of fools? Is it a good idea? So in this question we have to tell first of all the reason, that what was the reason that the disciple, the student, he decided that he will stay in that kingdom only, that was the kingdom of fools. And secondly we have to tell that his decision, or we can say his idea, so was it a good idea or not? Okay, so let's see the answer. The disciple decided to stay in the kingdom of fools because he was very happy with the fact that everything was quite cheap there. So what was the reason that the disciple, or we can say the student, he decided that he will stay there only, he will stay there, that is the kingdom of fools, because he was very much happy with the fact that everything was quite cheap there in the market. All he wanted in his life was good cheap food, and that disciple, he was actually very fond of food, and everything that he wanted in his life was just to have good and cheap food. He was tempted by the cheap food, and there everything was so much cheap, and the disciple, he was tempted to with this thing that the food was very good there, the food was very cheap there. So he thought of enjoying an easy life by staying in that kingdom. So the disciple, he decided that he will stay there only, he will enjoy his life in a very easy manner, and this is the reason he stayed there only. Now we are discussing that his decision, was it a good idea or not? So let's see. No, it was not a good idea to stay there for a long time. So we can say that no, not at all it was a good idea to stay there for a long time. All the people of the kingdom were fools and they could be dangerous for them in future, as suggested the Guru. And why it was not a good idea? Because all the people of the kingdom, they were fools. It was a kingdom of fools, and you could not say, you could not predict that what dangerous things they can do to you. And it was the advice that the Guru, he gave to his disciple, but the disciple, he didn't listen the advice of his Guru, and he decided to stay there only. But afterwards only he realized the advice and he regretted at that time. Next question, name all the people who are tried in the king's court and give the reasons for their trial. So in this question we have to tell first of all the name of all the people who are tried in the king's court, okay, and we have to tell the reasons also for their trial. So we have to tell that who are the people who were summoned, who were called in the court because of that case, what are the people, we have to tell the name and we have to tell the reasons also. So let's see the answer. Following following people were tried in the king's court. So there are so many people, so we are writing that following are the people who were tried in the king's court. So first of all, there was the merchant whose house was burgled. So first of all, the merchant was summoned, whose house was burgled. Why? Because the weak wall, it fell on the head of the thief. Okay, so let's see. He was pronounced guilty because his wall was weak, that fell upon the burglar and killed him. So what was the reason that this merchant, he was summoned? So the reason was that his wall was very weak, and finally this wall fell upon the head of the burglar and killed him. So this was the reason that merchant, he was considered to be guilty. He was considered to be the culprit of this crime. Secondly, there was the bricklayer who built this wall. So what was the reason? Let's see. He had built a wall which was weak and which collapsed, killing the burglar. So this bricklayer, he was accused because he was the person who built a wall, a poor quality wall, and finally that weak wall collapsed on the head of the burglar, and because of that the burglar, he was killed. So this time this bricklayer, he was accused. Next, there was the dancing girl, and what was the reason? Let's see. She was tried for distracting the bricklayer with her jingling anklets by walking up and down the road where bricklayer was building the wall. So you know the reason was, this time this dancing girl was accused. Why? Because she was having this reason that she actually distracted this bricklayer when he was building the wall. So at that time this dancing girl, she was moving up and down in that street so many times, and she was young, she was wearing anklets, and because of those anklets some jingling sound was there, and because of that sound, because of the beauty of this dancing girl, this bricklayer, he got distracted and his mind was not there, and as a result he made a wall that was of very poor quality, and finally that wall, it fell upon that burglar and it killed him. Next, there was the goldsmith. So now what is the reason? Let's see. He was tried as he didn't complete the dancing girl's order on time, and so she had to walk up and down to his house a dozen times. According to the story told by the dancing girl, the real culprit was the goldsmith because he didn't complete the dancing girl's order on time. Every time he was having so many excuses and he was unable to complete the order on time, and because of that the dancing girl, she had to go in that street so many times, or we can say a dozen times. The king then came to the conclusion that the goldsmith should be punished and summoned him. So after listening the story of the dancing girl, finally the king was convinced with this thing that yes, the goldsmith, he is the real culprit, he is the real criminal. But when he was summoned to the court, he in turn shifted the whole blame onto the merchant's father, who pressurized him for completing his order first, due to which he, that is the goldsmith, could not complete the dancing girl's order in time, and made her walk up and down so many times. So when finally the king, he was convinced with this thing that yes, goldsmith, he is the real culprit and he will be punished. So when the goldsmith, he was called to the court, when he was summoned to the court, so when it was goldsmith's chance to tell his side of the story, so now goldsmith, he told his own story, and then he shifted the entire blame, the whole blame, onto the merchant's father, because he was the person who actually pressurized him for completing his order first, due to which he, that is the goldsmith, he was unable to complete dancing girl's order in time, and because of that he was making so many excuses, and finally he made her walk so many times up and down in the street, and because of that the bricklayer, he was unable to concentrate on his work, and he made such a poor quality wall that finally fell on the head of the thief. Okay, so we can say that this is the circle of justice, because it started with the merchant. Okay, and after merchant, who was the criminal? The bricklayer, and after bricklayer the dancing girl was the criminal, and then the goldsmith was the criminal, and now this goldsmith, he shifted the entire blame onto the same merchant, because this merchant's father was the person who gave the order to make the jewelry first. Okay, so this was the circle of justice, and these are the people who were summoned to the king's court. Next question, who is the real culprit according to the king? Why does he escape punishment? So in this question we have to write it according to the king who was the real culprit, and finally why does he escape from the punishment? So let's see the answer. According to the king, the real culprit was the merchant. So according to the king, finally who was the real culprit? The merchant was the real culprit. Actually the merchant's father was the real murderer, but he was dead. And actually who was the real murderer? Merchant's father was the real murderer, because he was the person who gave the orders to the goldsmith, and he persuaded goldsmith to complete his orders first. Okay, so merchant's father, he was the real murderer, he was the real criminal, but because he is dead already, he is there no more, so finally the king, he chose that merchant, that he should be punished. On consulting this with his ministers, the king came to the conclusion that the punishment would be carried out on the merchant. So finally the king, he said that merchant, he inherited everything from his father, all his riches as well as his sins. Okay, so finally the king, he consulted this entire matter with his ministers, and finally he came to the conclusion that the punishment would be carried out on the merchant. He escapes the punishment because he is too thin to be properly executed on the stake. And now we are writing the reason that why finally this merchant, he escaped from the punishment. So he was able to escape the punishment because he was too thin to be properly executed on the stake. So this was the reason, and finally this merchant, he was able to escape from the punishment. Next question, what are the Guru's words of wisdom? When does the disciple remember them? So in this question, first of all, we have to write the wise words, or we can say words of wisdom that was spoken by the Guru. And secondly, we have to tell that when the disciple finally he remembers those words. So let's see the answer. The Guru's words of wisdom were that it was the city of fools, and their unpredictable behavior could create danger anytime. So first we are writing the wise words spoken by the Guru. So the words were that it was the city of fools, it was the kingdom of fools, and because of their unpredictable behavior, it could create danger anytime, because you cannot predict, you cannot tell that what foolish people they can do anytime. He advised the disciple to leave the city because he would not know what they would do next, and because of that the Guru, he advised his disciple, he advised his student to leave the city because he would not know what these foolish people they could do next. So these were the wise words spoken by the Guru. Next we are writing the when finally the disciples he was able to realize the importance of these words. So we are writing that the disciple, he remembers these words when he was going to be executed in place of the merchant. So finally when the disciple, he was arrested, why? Because he was a fat man, just because he was arrested and he was going to be executed in place of the merchant. Okay, yes, he was innocent, he was not at all involved in that crime, but he was arrested and he was going to be executed. So at that time the disciple, he was able to understand the importance of those words spoken by his Guru. So finally he was regretting that why he didn't listen the wise words of his Guru. Next question, how does the Guru manage to save his disciples' life? So in this question we have to write that when the Guru, he came to know about everything, that his disciple was arrested and he was going to be executed. So finally the Guru, he was there to save the life of his disciple. So we have to write that how does the Guru, he managed to save the life of his disciple. So let's see the answer. The Guru tries to confuse the king by expressing his desire to be killed first. So we can say that Guru, he was having a plan. He knew that the king is very foolish, he is an idiot person. So Guru, he tries to confuse the king by expressing his desire to be killed first. He told the king that it was not an ordinary stake, it was a stake of the God of justice. It was new that never had a criminal on it. So Guru, he was having one story, he was having some plans, and according to the plan, he told the king that it was not an ordinary stake, but it was the stake of the god of justice. Why? Because it was a new stake and it had never a criminal on it. So whoever would die on the stake first would become the king in the next life, and the second to die would become his minister. Next, the Guru, he said that whoever would die on that stake first, so in his next birth he will be the king of this kingdom, and the second person who will die on that stake, he will be the minister of this kingdom in his next birth. The king wanted to avail himself on the opportunity, as he didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life. So king, he was really very foolish person, and he he believed on this story, he was convinced with this story, and he wanted to avail himself on this opportunity. So he thought that it was an opportunity, and in his next birth also he can be the king of this kingdom. So he thought that he will use this opportunity, and he didn't want to lose his kingdom to someone else in his next birth. So he decided that he will use this opportunity so that in his next birth also he could be the king of that kingdom. So he ordered to postpone the execution to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. So now when the king, he was convinced with the story, after that he wanted to talk with his minister, that is also a foolish person. So first of all he ordered to postpone the execution so that he could have some time, and then he talked, then he discussed in secret with his minister. That night the king and his minister went secretly to the prison, and after a lot of discussion, finally they decided this thing, and according to their decision they went secretly to the prison. They released the Guru and the disciple and disguised themselves as the two, and finally they released the Guru and the disciple, and then they disguised themselves as Guru and disciple. Finally both of them were taken to the stake and promptly executed, and finally the king and the minister who were disguised as the Guru and the disciple, they were taken to the stake, and they were very promptly, very immediately they were executed, they were killed. In this way, the Guru used the foolishness of the king against him only and managed to save his disciples' life. So we can say that Guru, what did he do actually? He used the foolishness of the king against him. So the Guru, he was a wise person, he was the wise man, and he knew that the king and the minister, they both are foolish, they both are very idiot. So he used their foolishness against them only, and finally he was able to manage to save his disciples' life, to save the life of his student. Okay, so students, we have completed all the question answers here. I hope the chapter and all the question answers, everything is clear to you all, and in the next video we will start reading with our next chapter. So see you in the next video. Thank you.